This is the Friday Big Show. Hope you've had an incredible week, poised for another incredible weekend. The question that I have for you today: how often recently have you thought, it would just be easier for me to do it? And you're thinking this, of course, in response to having to nag your child again and again and again about picking things up off the floor or getting themselves ready to go in the morning, all those things that need to go into that morning routine. How much of that are you actually taking responsibility for because you think it would just be easier for me to do it? Either because you don't want to continue to give them a hard time about it, or it would simply take them longer to do it themselves. So I guess the reason I bring this up, and I bring it up on a Friday Big Show, is because it's an issue that comes up over and over and over again. And eventually what ends up happening is that your child has to take less responsibility for some of those basic things in his or her life, and you begin to take more until all of a sudden you're inundated with all of the things that really they should be doing that you are now doing in place. So in the long run, and I'm going to encourage you, really I'm going to put the challenge out to you, I think long term. Yes, you may have to continue to nag your child to do some of those things. And yes, it may take longer in the short term for them to get some of those things done. Picking up the clothes that are always on the ground, picking up the shoes, getting the homework done, getting ready for school in the morning, packing their own lunch, maybe washing their own clothes. What are those things that you feel like you're taking a lot of responsibility for? And your rationale is, it would just be easier for me to do it, that really you can hand over responsibility to. So the challenge is, think long term. And I say long term because in the short term, although it's easier for you to do it now, right? In the long term, it's going to be a lot more difficult for your child if they're not building up some of those basic skills, taking responsibility for some of the basic things in their life. So again, think long term. Yes, it could be frustrating, could take longer in the short term for some of these things that I've talked about. But if you think long term, that may help to ease a little bit of the frustration. Just step back, let your child step up, take responsibility for a few of those things, and quit saying to yourself, it would just be easier for me to do it. Because you know what? In all honesty, you add enough of those things to your list every day, and it's no longer just easier for you to do it. You spend your entire day doing all the things that maybe your child could be doing. All right? So that is a challenge for you. Hey, have an incredible Easter weekend for those folks who are celebrating Easter, and I will see you back next week.